Hello friends, so welcome to this demo. In this lecture, we'll discuss about the recommendations and alerting part of Security Center. So first of all, we discuss about the recommendation. So if you come down to the resource hygiene section, like we discussed in the detail section as well, herein we'll get the recommendation for the different categories. So the first tab is the recommendation where you get the general recommendation and then is the service wise. So this is the general recommendation where it will give a recommendation and the dashboard that okay, number of healthy, unhealthy resources related to compute, networking, and then top recommendations which have high impact and which have a high severity score. So in that case, and if you'll scroll down, you'll get different recommendations it gives. So we'll choose one by one. So if you'll choose compute and apps, if you'll click here as well, you'll be able to see the recommendations in the compute and apps. So let's say if I'll click over here, so it generally open the recommendation under compute and apps. So let's say if I'll click over here as well, I'll get the same window. So in this way, if you click on each category, it will move you to that particular category. So if you compute and apps, it gives me that, okay, your web application should be accessible over HTTPS only. So in that case, if you click on that particular recommendation, you'll get a detailed information like recommendation score, description. If you are not clear, what does it says, right? And then it gives about the threat information like okay, what could be the threats. Then it also gives you the remediation steps. You can view the remediation logic. And the other, which is the beauty of this is your security center is it will directly move you to that option if that in case you don't remember the option that okay, how I can fix that. And I'll show you that option in a moment. So here you get that okay, number of healthy, unhealthy resources or unscanned. So if you'll click on that particular resource, it will directly move you to that particular option where you can remediate that. So if I'll click on that, it will directly open that window. So here you can enable the HTTPS and you'll be able to remediate that particular vulnerability. So similarly, if I'll go to the security center again, and if you'll move to the networking, it will give you to the uh, recommendations related to the networking. So here you can see you have VM, scale set, cloud services, app services, containers, compute if you have Dockers and containers. So in that case, it will give you the recommendations based on that. And then we have is networking. In case of networking, if you'll see, you'll get recommendations related to your network. You can choose the topology. If you'll click over here, it will open up the network map. It will give you the relations and all those things for your network security group, subnets, where the public IP address has been assigned, or it will give you different recommendations. So it gives the access to the app service should be restricted, means you should provide the VNet and all those access to your app service. So IoT hubs and resources, I'll not be able to see anything because we don't have any resource. In data and storage, you'll get recommendation related to storage account, related to your SQL server. So this is overview. If you click on SQL, you get the recommendations related to SQL, its severity and everything, then related to the storage account, and then you to the again to the Redis database. So if you'll click on SQL, it is saying that okay, vulnerabilities on your SQL server should be recommended and it is having high severity and a high impact. So that is why it is in marked in red. So this is having the low severity of one, and auditing on your SQL server should be enabled. So by this way, if you'll click on here, it will directly move you to that particular resource and from where you can enable the auditing on your SQL server. So I have clicked on that resource. See, here you can directly on the auditing on your SQL server. In this way, that is the beauty that okay, at the same time you can remediate that as well. So this is how we can get the different remediations related to identity and access, like diagnostic login should be enabled related to your subscriptions, key vault. So this is about the diagnostic login. It is saying that okay, on key vault should be enabled. So these are the different recommendations depending on high severity. It gives you the and gives you the score that okay, if you remediate this vulnerability, your overall score will improve by plus 50, plus 5, right? So in this way, you'll be able to work on the recommendations which are in high severity. And the another option which I would like to discuss is in case of there's any threat right now. I don't think there would be any threat. So it is saying that okay, no security alerts. But if you want to send security alerts to some security admins or any administrators, you want to get notified the subscription owners that okay, if there is would be any alert, In 24 hours, generally it sends a report for the high severity alerts when it gets detected on the first time. So how you can send the alerts to which person and subscription owners? If you'll click on the first part, pricing and settings, and just click on that particular thing you have, and then click on the email notification, and here you can type in the email address to which you want to send the notification. So I'll enter my email address, and you can provide the number and all those things. Send an email notification for the high severity alerts. Also send email notification to your subscription owners. So it is saying that okay, email notification is generally sent once a day for the high severity alerts when it is first detected. So in this way, if you'll save, it will send the, if there would be any alert, it will first detect and send it to the subscription owner and the email address which you have entered. So this is it, friends. In this lecture we discussed about the how we can set alerts, or for if there is any kind of high severity alert, to whom we can send the notification. And then we discussed about the various kind of recommendations under each category and how we can improve the overall score and basically the overall security posture of our infrastructure. So this is it, friends. Thank you for watching this lecture. Meet you in the next lecture.